Another punctuation mark we should look at is the dash. Underrated. Now the type of dash we're going to talk about is called an M dash. And it's called the M dash because it's the exact size of a capital letter M in terms of width. But it can get confusing because there are things like the M dash that can sometimes get confused with it, like a hyphen. Hyphens are very short little marks, and they're usually used to combine two words into one adjective. So if I say, that's a high quality piece of music, you would use a hyphen to connect the two words into one. So don't get confused with the hyphen. There's also something called the N dash, which is slightly longer than a hyphen, and that's used to show, between 1996 and 1998. So it sort of shows a range. That's an N dash. Most people just use a hyphen there, but it's supposed to be an N dash. But an M dash is longer than both, and that's the unit of punctuation that separates ideas. Dash use number 1. A dash is used to indicate that an explanation will follow. In this case, it's very much like a colon. Now, why use a dash instead of a colon then? Well, the dash is a little bit more dramatic. Colons are a bit more straightforward. For example, take a look at the first sentence. Josh joined ballet for one reason and one reason only. Girls in tutus. The dash just a more dramatic, emphatic punctuation mark. Next example, I'm not going outside. It's pouring rain. Now you could use a lot of different things here. You could use a semicolon here and that would work. You could just have two separate sentences, that would work. But the dash just adds a bit of drama to the way it looks on the page. Dash use number 2. A dash can separate parenthetical or unnecessary information from the rest of the sentence. So look at the first example. Very few reality shows, none really, are any good. Now the sentence exists without this. You don't need it. It just adds a bit of spice to the sentence. But it's parenthetical. It's unnecessary. This main part of the sentence is very few reality shows are any good. This just sort of adds a little bit of drama to the sentence. Next example. I strolled down the quiet hall. It was during third period, and heard shouting in the bathroom. It's not really necessary to know exactly when I was strolling down the hall when I heard shouting in the bathroom, but it does just add a bit of information. But because it's unnecessary, if you put it between the dashes, that tells the reader that, hey, I'm going to jump in here with some more information, but it's not really that necessary. And that's the second use. And the third use, usually you find this only in fiction when characters are speaking, but a dash can indicate an abrupt break in thought. So, first example, hey, where did the puppy... There she is! It indicates that whatever this thought was, it's breaking now because we have new information. And the second example, at the end of the movie, the murderer turns out to be... But I don't want to spoil it for you. Again, it indicates an interruption in the original thought and then the beginning of a new thought. And those are dashes. As far as dashes go, I think they are underutilized in young writing, but like semicolons, you don't want to use them too much, because if the reader sees dashes everywhere, then it becomes distracting. But once or twice an essay, definitely no more than once a paragraph, a dash can, again, you show that you're varying your sentence types. And that's all for dashes.